Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Les quiero dar la bienvenida a mi casa y a mi jardín. Welcome to my home and welcome to my garden. We're gonna have a lot of fun together and I hope you can follow along as we experiment and experience with plants and seeing what we get ourselves into. Now that we are in October and into fall, we want to change our planting methods and the colors that we have in our garden to welcome fall. And I'd like to start off with a little project. Quiero empezar con un proyecto bien pequeño donde utilicé solamente 4 plantitas. Estamos en el otoño, entonces queremos cambiar los colores que estamos utilizando en nuestro jardín, en nuestra casa para decorar y darle la bienvenida al otoño. Queremos usar más colores que son utilizados en esa temporada. Ya que estamos en el tiempo de otoño, las plantas afuera no producen muchas flores y hay unas plantas, ciertas plantas que hay que traerlas de afuera, meterlas para adentro, para guardarlas, para que no estén en el frío. Algunas partes donde están ustedes puede caer nieve. Aquí en Carolina del Sur no cae nieve. Bueno, no voy a decir que no cae nieve porque hace 2 años cayó un tantito nada más, pero no suficiente para decir que cae nieve en el invierno. Aquí nunca cae nieve. Lo más que tenemos es lluvia en el invierno, pero hay otras plantitas, como estaba indicando, que hay que traerlas, meterlas para adentro para guardarlas y cuidarlas para la próxima primavera. There are plants that you do have to bring inside your house or have a greenhouse or perhaps have somewhere where you can put them to make sure that they're ready to go for next season and they're protected from the elements. I bring mine inside to the dislike of my husband, but that's okay. That's another topic. Today I want to share with you a small little project that I did for my front porch to welcome my guests and all visitors, indicating that it is fall. The fall colors are beautiful together, and I just want to share with you the small little project that I did. So, with that being said, let's get right to it and acompáñame al jardín. Now the first plant that I'm using is this Croton. This Croton does need 6 or more hours of direct sun. Le gusta mucho el sol directo a esa plantita que se llama Croton. En esta área donde vivo yo en Carolina del Sur, estoy en la zona de crecer en zona 8. So this is treated as an annual in my area because it won't survive when it gets really cold down here, which is in January, February. That's when it tends to get a little colder and this plant just won't survive. It's best grown in zones 10 or higher. You do want to make sure that, as with all the other plants that I'm planting here, you want to water it weekly and fertilize all of them on a monthly schedule, or at least every 2 weeks like I'm going to be doing. Of course, these plants don't get too much growth on them since it is since it is fall, and they're not going to put on too much growth, obviously. And also the container that I'm using is smaller than your average, like say, summer container. So that's going to inhibit the plant's growth as well. So the first one I'm using, like I mentioned, was the Croton. Next, I'm following that up with the ornamental pepper. And this pepper is so fun. I think it just adds a little bit of interest to this planter. And with all my planters, I like to make sure I'm incorporating different textures, colors that complement each other. This blue and these reds really love each other. They bounce off each other and add so much interest to this planter. That's why these colors pair well together, because they are complementary. But as you can tell in the video, I had to split that ornamental pepper, and that's okay to do too. You can buy a gallon-sized container of plants and you can split them most of the time. Now that ornamental pepper is followed up by that Dusty Miller, which, oh my goodness, I just love Dusty Miller. I think it adds a touch of class and elegance. It just reminds me of something that's very vintage looking to me. And that blue is just so beautiful and calming. This Dusty Miller grows very well here. And again, I like to use it in my fall arrangements, my winter arrangements, because it does tolerate a frost in my area. And lastly, as you can tell, that I am using the Superbells Tangerine Punch from Proven Winners. This is such an interesting and beautiful plant, that vibrant orange color with that deep maroon center just pairs with that Croton, that very first plant that we placed in the pot. That pairs so well together, and it adds so much interest and visual interest, and it also adds some texture. It's a little different than what we're using in the other plants, which is mostly for their leaf structure. Like the Dusty Miller is nice, long, and ferny looking to me, whereas that Croton is nice and broad. And this is such a delicate flower. Está bien preciosa esta florecita de la Superbells Tangerine Punch. Es bien delicada esta plantita y me encanta mucho cómo se ve con todos los colores que estamos utilizando en esa macetera. Queremos darle un poquito de comida a esa macetera cada semana con nuestra agua para que pueda crecer un poquito y no se mueran las plantitas en el sol directo, porque todas estas plantas ocupan sol directo, 6 horas o más de sol, y cada semana le voy a echar un poquito de agüita con la comida de las plantitas y vamos a poner esa plantita acá al frente de la puerta. Y aquí las tenemos, ¿no se miran preciosas? Oh, ahí está mi Charlito, ese es mi Charlie, mi perrito tan precioso, mi ayudante en mi jardín. He got a little tired, so he had to go inside the house. But look at these plants together. I just think they're so beautiful. And you can see the blue and the red just bounce off each other so well and complement each other so well. I just love how this turned out. It's perfect for the entrance of my home to welcome my guest. And I just want to show you too that at the bottom of these planters, I did use a little tray to collect any water to protect my steps, protect the brick, whatever you're going to place it on. The store that I got these at, which is Lowe's, Lowe's did have the planter the saucer that you put underneath them. However, they ran out, so I had to get these little plastic saucers, and that's okay. But I just want to show you that I did leave a little bit of space here, about an inch from the lip of the planter, so that when I add my water, all the soil doesn't drain off. And there's a plastic planter that I used to protect whatever surface you're going to place these on. But eventually I'll go back and get the saucers that match this planter. So I just want to step back and let you see the whole finished project here. I think it turned out so well. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment, share your pictures with me. And then I just also want to share with you a little sneak peek at these little planters that I did at the base of the steps. Este es el proyecto para la próxima semana, donde les voy a enseñar cómo utilicé esas plantitas para terminar mi entrada de mi puerta. Y aquí está mi Charlito en la puerta para que ustedes sepan que no tienen que timbrar la puerta o poner el timbre en la puerta, porque ya sabemos que están aquí con el perrito, ¿verdad? All right, what do you all think? I think this turned out so pretty, and it's so perfect for fall. The fall entrance to my front steps have a little bit more pizzazz now as guests are approaching the front door. So I hope that you are inspired to try a little project like this. This is my first time trying these ornamental peppers, and I typically don't jam pack this amount of flowers into one, or this amount of plants rather, into one container, but it pushed me out of my comfort zone, and that sometimes is a good thing. You have to learn and you have to experience new things in life, and I think sometimes you have to be pushed a little bit out of your comfort range and what you're comfortable with in order to grow. Entonces, ¿qué piensan de las plantitas? Creo que a mí me quedaron muy chulas, muy lindas. Me gustó este proyecto mucho y espero que lo intenten en su jardín. Enséñenme fotos si lo intentan.
Okay,
so there you have it. A quick little easy fall project. Un proyecto tan súper fácil para el otoño. Espero que lo intenten. Comparten sus fotos conmigo. Las quiero ver. Y hasta la próxima vez. Nos vemos. Chao.